started struggling a little bit around age 11. That's when I started self-harming, and when I was 14, that was when it became apparent to others. It was the school in particular picked up on the fact that I was hurting myself, and by the time I was 16, it had gotten to the point where I was needing to go to A&E probably 3 times a week, sometimes 4, and then progressed even more around the age of 17, 18, to the point where my self-harm became life-threatening, and that was what started my constant cycle of being inpatient in hospital. When I was 24, I think, that was when I went into hospital for the last time, and that was where I was for 4.5 years. When I lived at the hospital, there's a lot of other patients there, so you really only have a bedroom to yourself. You have one room, that's where your things go. And you're not allowed most regular things because a lot of things can be seen as a risk and a weapon.
That many of our patients have had, a range of different experiences that mean that the relationships that they've been able to have haven't provided them with the nurturing that they need. And as such, as adults, they have difficulty sometimes building those safe attachments and positive attachments. So we can do some of that work here, but obviously within a hospital setting you are limited in terms of what you can provide in terms of building attachments. That work has to be done in the real world, so to speak, in the community, and that's exactly what Shared Life offers. It's a way of doing that, but safely.
I happened to stumble across Shared Lives from my hospital bedroom. I was searching online. I sat on the internet typing things in like, can adults be fostered or adopted? And eventually something led me to Shared Lives. And I just knew, I felt a bit like goosey. I just knew that this was definitely the right thing to do. I knew that I needed to feel a part of something and move away from clinical boundaried care, because those people do care, but when they go home they have to switch you off.
So it was actually Meg who identified Shared Lives in the first place. So then we looked at that as a team and did some kind of investigation, and it was, so we really looked into that together. It was kind of, we were all new to it, so but it was something that as a team it felt actually we were all on board as an option, even though it was something that was very new and out of our comfort zone. We hadn't actually worked in that way before.
The matching process, it can be very thorough. So with our Shared Lives carers, we get to know them over a period of about 3 months and spend time in their homes and in their communities. So we get to know not just them, but their lifestyles and whether they're from a busy household or a quiet household, and kind of what's important to them and what makes them tick. And then when we have information about people who are referred in, we're in a much better place to be able to say whether it's a possibility of a good match.
I was sent out, we matched really well in terms of our likes and dislikes and our beliefs, but our personalities are quite different.
So the matching process in Shared Lives is absolutely key to the success of the arrangement. The information that Meg had presented about herself was ideal because it talked about what was important to her and her values and her beliefs.
One of the things about Meg that matched really well was that she likes to keep that child in you going, don't you? That's a really important thing for you.
It is
to keep your inner child, so that's not something that I have to struggle with, so I'm always playing.
The next step, once we have the information about the person, is to share information about the potential carer or carers. And with Meg and Hayley, what we were able to do is Hayley put together some information that responded to what Meg was looking for. So she was able to explain a bit about herself, her house, and who she was, but also to say what she wasn't, and to respond to some of the things that Meg had said around what she wanted. For example, Hayley isn't vegetarian, she doesn't live on a farm, but she could offer the other things that Meg had identified. Shared Lives is a regulated service. We're regulated by CQC, to where we provide, or Shared Lives carers provide, personal care to the people they support. So what that means is that as a scheme, a Shared Lives scheme, we check in with the people we support and the Shared Lives carers on a regular basis to make sure that the support that they're giving is consistent and safe and in line with what the person has said that they want. The way that CQC regulate is that they inspect periodically, and when they come to inspect, they look at the files of the people we support, they look at the files of our carers and check all the documents are in place, and they look for evidence of how we respond to complaints or respond to safeguarding situations and the systems that we have in place. And I'm very happy to say that at our last inspection, we were awarded outstanding in all 5 areas with CQC, which was a real achievement for us all. Why do I think Hayley and Meg hit it off so well? I think that they're a good match because of their shared interests and because of their shared view of the world and the universe.
A bit hippie-fied, so I'm a little bit of an ageing hippie, and Meg's definitely a hippie. She likes the outdoors, so the outdoors was really important to us both.
I think they provided each other with something that the other needed. I think it is a very reciprocal relationship, and I think that's at the heart of any successful Shared Lives match.
What Meg believed is my beliefs also, so that was quite important. So that was an easy match for them things.
And actually I think in terms of that support, it goes both ways. So my carer isn't only sharing my life, but I'm sharing hers. So if she's taking me on a day out but needs to nip in somewhere first, it's all just a nice little compromise, so yeah.
I mean, since Meg left us and we were able to see how she transitioned into the community and how well it went, we did actually use the same model with another service user.
It's not a professional relationship, it's a real family. So, you know, we will sometimes not speak in a professional manner to each other, but that's okay, and I think that's why it works. I think it's the best job in the world. I couldn't imagine doing another job.
The impact of Shared Lives on Meg, I think, has been giving her the tools or the opportunity to do the things that she wants to do and to achieve the goals that she's wanted, to be part of something, to be part of somebody's family and networks and wider community, I guess, across our town, and to have the space to figure out who she is within that context, within that supportive and empowering context.
I think I still subconsciously get that sense of achievement that I've got my own home, my own space, and I really do like living on my own now, because I think, well, for quite a few years I was on OBS in hospital, so 2-to-1 staff, 1-to-1, no bathroom privacy at all. So now I don't take my own time for granted. I love it. I never, ever thought, I couldn't even comprehend that I would be where I am today. Just because you're used to people making decisions for you and taking things away, you can still make decisions for yourself, one small step can turn into such a big step. I feel like I would never have got better without Shared Lives. I'd have just retreated back to where I was before that admission. I just want you to know that you can step into your own power and change the course of your life. My house was, for a long time, it was a goal. It was something to work towards. I never was sure that I could get here, and now I have. I just feel like I've completely won at everything.